Alright, so we're going to Salt Lake FanX, and it's funny when you think about it. This is how people used to try to break into comics. They would go and, show their portfolio off and beg for attention. But now, there's like no comic book pros here to even talk to, so we will see how it goes. I'm here with my brother Tyler, who's not interested in being on camera, so I won't make him. We're gonna get in line right now and we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm at the convention. You're supposed to wear a mask. I'm taking it off. See that? That's awful. What the heck's wrong with me? Anyway, so we're at the convention. It's huge. The one thing that's sticking out to me is that anime is a million times bigger than comics. We already knew this, but I know it better now. I saw Peter David, met Peter David, thought about asking him about his debate that he had with Todd McFarlane, decided not to ultimately because he's just an old man, like a nice old man. That's how he appeared. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not a good YouTuber, I guess, but it was cool. He signed a book for me. I bought a whole book from him. Getting a signature or a custom drawn cover, sketch cover. There's a better way to say that. We're gonna talk about that later. But so far, so good. My brother, this is his first convention, and he's actually having a really good time. That's where we're at so far. If you can see, there's just a little bit going on right here. It goes all the way around the corner. This thing really is massive. It's huge. Utah does not get enough recognition for how giant this convention is. However, comic books, again, still, it's just so small. Having said that, every time I see a local comic book creator, I'm trying to support their book. And in this case, there haven't been many, but more than I was expecting. So that's good news. I'll give you an update soon. Does it look like I'm eating in a hospital? Because it feels like I'm eating in a hospital. This is a dry hamburger. Really dry. It was $13.50. I don't know where you're from, but for where I'm from, that's expensive. Not my beverage of choice either, but it's what they had. Kind of unfortunate, but we're having a good time. Tyler, are you having a good time? I'm not putting you on camera, but I will show your food.
It's good. This sucks though.
It's food, hospital food, but we are having fun. All right, there's the Hulk right next to Lou Ferrigno, which you're supposed to pay to get a picture, so I'm not going to, but we're looking at the Hulk right now. Pretty cool, and we are also looking at the Hulk right now. Can't help but remember RT Bear's story about Lou Ferrigno. It's funny. Ask him sometime. All right, Clint from the future here. I gotta say, a lot of the video footage that I had from the convention was not great. A lot of that was just my fault. But a lot of it was the fact that it was just so crowded and difficult to film stuff or be heard among all the people. So a couple observations is that it seems like the last time I'd went, cosplay was a lot bigger than it was this time. Yeah, there were still people dressed up and doing their cosplay thing, but it wasn't everywhere like the first time. Or the last time I went, it was just everywhere. So I was suspecting that COVID would put a damper on it and that there wouldn't be as many people turning out. But I was actually really wrong about that. There were a lot of people. The morning seemed to be okay. It was crowded, but not overly crowded. You could get through everything. By the time lunch rolled around, it got so crowded that it was difficult to walk. So what did that mean for vendors making money? This is where I paid most of my attention because, I was so close to being at this convention to actually sell my stuff, but I didn't sign up soon enough, and it ended up being a good thing because I don't have all my books yet from the printer. So it's I don't have books, I don't have campaign fulfilled. So it ends up being better to just push it off and do a convention later. But people are spending a ton of money. I mean, there's money to be made. The question is, how do you compete and stand out uh, against, I don't know, all the other kinds of things that are being sold there? Far and wide, the most popular item I saw around was just art prints. They were everywhere. Those were where the biggest crowds were being drawn. There were some booths with Legos and other things like that that people were going to and buying stuff. But far and wide, I would say it was art prints. People were going, checking them out, paying a lot of money for art prints. They were selling out in some cases, or many cases. We would go see a cool print. We'll come back later and check on it, and that print is completely sold out. So that happened quite a few times actually as we were looking at prints. So as far as comic creators go, there were actually more comic creators than I had expected. Salt Lake FanX did not do a good job of promoting the creators that they did have. Uh, Peter David was the biggest name creator that they had there, and there weren't any like current creators like top of the list people there at all, which isn't surprising, but it just sort of shows where comics is in the big scheme of things. So are conventions just a waste of time and you can't make any money? I actually disagree. I think that there's a lot of money to be made, but it's just like crowdfunding. You've got to figure out a way to stand out and, how to crush a convention. If you're somebody that sells at a convention and you do really well at a convention, I'd love to know what are some of your strategies. I came up with some that I would want to try, and a big part of that is actually building up a mailing list, and I think that was underutilized. People were offering discounts if you bought multiple prints or multiple books, but I didn't really see a lot of people trying to capture email addresses. And what I would do, just like I do here on YouTube, is ask for people to join a mailing list. And if you can get a discount on this book here if you join my mailing list, something like that. And that would give you the ability to reach people that you wouldn't otherwise. Now, I know absolutely for a fact that I saw artists and writers that were selling books and prints that I would not have come in contact with had I not gone to the convention, had they not been at the convention. What number is that? Like, what's the magic number to make it worth it? I don't know. But I got to tell you, there are already people there with money. They're expecting to spend money. And the trick is getting them to spend it with you rather than, whatever anime prints they're spending money on, wherever else they're spending money. You have to find a way to stick out of the crowd and draw attention and close the sale. And at the very least, again, capture an email address, because that's actually going to be worth a lot more than you might think of at first. I don't have the specifics for how to do this, but I wouldn't mind absolutely trying it out. I wish it wasn't as expensive as it is to get into a convention, because I feel like it deserves a little bit more trial and error. But I think I have some solid strategies that I will try in the future to see how it goes. All in all, it's great to see conventions coming back and people going to conventions. Pleasantly surprised with the turnout, and I can't wait to see more of it. I think just generally it's healthy that people are out spending money and making money. It's a good thing. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you've been to a convention recently and any observations that you've made. I appreciate everything, and I will see you in the next video.